I have here 4 large chopped onions, and I'm going to add these now to the pot. Now I have 1 3/4 pints of vegetable stock. I'm using vegetable water, and to this I am adding a teaspoon of Marmite. It can though be any yeast extract. The soup looks ready, so let's give it a taste and see what it's like. Grand day rising everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am bringing you an historical recipe from the Favourite Boating Recipes book by Kaz Best, and it's for lock keepers onion soup. Now this could be made quite simply, there's not many ingredients involved. On a little gas stove, for example, I'm making it in a slow cooker today. Now in more recent times, 2 of the better known boaters would be the late actor Timothy West and his actress wife Prunella Scales. They had a very successful TV series for a number of years called Great Canal Journeys, and I think it certainly helped Prunella retain as much of a cognitive function as possible during her battle with dementia. It was a highly popular series. Dan and I used to enjoy watching it too. At one time, the lock keeper had a really important role in managing the lock, or that particular waterway. The waterways in the UK were really important in bygone years for the transportation of cargo, goods and other commodities around the country. Whereas today that role tends to be more of a voluntary one. It says, lock keepers' local knowledge is invaluable and they can offer words of encouragement, information about canal and weather conditions or directions to the nearest shop or pub. Now this onion soup recipe has very few ingredients. I'm making it in a slow cooker today, but it would be one that you could prepare quite easily on a little stove in your cabin. And this one will serve 4 to 6 people. So let's get started. I'm melting a tablespoon of ghee in the slow cooker. You could use butter instead, or maybe a little dripping. I have here 4 large chopped onions, and I'm going to add these now to the pot. I'm going to cook the onions down now for probably 5 or 10 minutes in this butter ghee, and then we can add some hot stock and other seasonings. The onions are softening nicely, so I decided to add a little chopped sage from the garden. Sage and onion go really well together. If you don't have sage, if you've got a little bit of thyme or parsley, that would also go well. This is a tweak to the recipe. Now I have 1 3/4 pints of vegetable stock. I'm using vegetable water, and to this I am adding a teaspoon of Marmite. It can though be any yeast extract. You won't need to therefore add any salt to this recipe. All teaspoons are about the same measurement. Some have a wider, shallower bowl, and others have a smaller and deeper bowl. That's about a teaspoon. And then just stir that through. It just makes it easier to stir the yeast extract through rather than adding the yeast extract once you've added the stock to the crock. The onions are softening nicely, so it's time now to add the stock. Finally, add a good teaspoon of black pepper. Stir everything through and put the lid on and let it cook away now for a couple of hours until the onions are very soft. The soup looks ready, so let's give it a taste and see what it's like. Smells good. Let's give this a try. It smells good. Very hot. Smells nice and oniony. You could have put garlic in as well if you'd wanted to. I didn't bother on this occasion. That's peppery. That's nice. I've got very slight crunch still on the onions. They're nice and soft, but there's still a slight crunch, which I really enjoy. Very tasty. Obviously you can put more or less pepper in. I might be inclined next time to try adding a few chilli flakes. It's very flavourful. The stock's actually quite rich with the vegetables. You can't really tell there's Marmite in here. Only very slight malt in the background. If you added a couple of pints of beef stock instead of the vegetable stock, you would in effect have a French onion soup. So I think that's really successful. Not even any blending required. You can just leave it on the stove or in the crock pot for a little while and go off and do other things. Obviously, if you're using the stove method, do keep an eye on it and check every 10 minutes or so, because you don't want the pan to burn. So that's it. That's the Lockkeeper's onion soup. Whew. Nice and spicy it is too. But what do you think? Is this a recipe you would create? I added quite a bit of pepper because I like spicy things. But you just do it to taste. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Please share, subscribe, ding the notification bell. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for another video. Until then, bye for now.